Hi everyone, my name is Najla and today our group will present our project on the Biji-biji Initiative. Before we begin, I would like to introduce our team members. We have Muhammad Shami, Ragat, me, Nur Najla, Alia Husna, Mataba, Nur Farah Alia, Doa, Atira and Daryl. Let's begin our presentation by having Atira to talk about the company background.
Hi everyone, I'm Atira and I'll be presenting about the background of Biji-biji Initiative. Biji-biji was founded in 2013 in Kuala Lumpur as a social enterprise that focused on sustainability. So the name Biji-biji means seeds, which reflects their belief that small actions can grow into big change. The co-founder and group CEO, Raj Ben Singh, used to work in corporate finance at PwC. Even though he had a stable career, he wanted to do something more meaningful for the environment and society. So his goal was to show that a business can make up profit while still creating social impact. Their first big idea was the treasure concept, where they turn used banners and waste materials into bags and other products. This proved that waste can be valuable and that sustainable ideas can actually work in the market. From starting as a small group of friends with very little funding, BGBG has grown into an award-winning organization and a leader in the circular economy. Today, they also focus on education and technology to help the young people and marginalized communities gain important future skills. Overall, BG believes that anyone can create change. You just have to start with a small seed.
These slides explain the impact and social mission of Biji-biji Initiative. First, Biji-biji practices a waste to wealth approach. They turn waste materials like banners, seat belts, and wood into useful and high-quality product. These show how waste can be turned into something valuable. Biji-biji also focuses on helping people. Through Mi Reka, they provide training to youth and marginalized groups, helping them learn digital skills and problem-solving skills that are important today. In addition, Biji-biji supports an inclusive maker culture. Most of their workforce are women, and they come from different ethnic backgrounds. Overall, Biji-biji shows that sustainability can be creative, practical, and successful while making a positive social and environmental impact. Biji-biji Initiative started in Malaysia in 2013 as an upcycling initiative that focused on turning recycled materials into useful products. Over time, the organization realized that creating products alone was not enough to address long-term environmental and social challenges. Because of this, Biji-biji evolved from a recycled goods business into an ecosystem builder for sustainable development. This change represents a key innovation as the organization shifted its focus from short-term project-based activities to long-term scalable impact. Today, Biji-biji focuses on capacity building, circular economy models, and technology transfer strategies. These changes allow the organization to respond to broader community needs and support sustainable development beyond just direct beneficiaries.
Building on that transformation, Biji-biji implemented several key innovations to scale its impact. One major change was the introduction of impact accelerator programs, which support social enterprises and NGOs through mentorship, funding access, digital skills, and impact measurement. This allows these organizations to grow independently and multiply their social impact. Another important innovation is the Beyond Bins initiative, which expands the circular economy by empowering underserved communities to manage recycling facilities, generate income, and gain technical skills. This approach creates both environmental and economic benefits. Biji also strengthened its role as an ecosystem builder through strategic partnerships with organizations such as Microsoft, USAID, IKEA, and SEAM. These partnerships help integrate global best practices into local social enterprises. In addition, technology and digital skill were integrated across programs to improve efficiency, accountability, and data-driven decision-making, especially for smaller organizations. Overall, these innovations were necessary to move Biji-Biji beyond the isolated projects and enable it to address complex social challenges, such as youth unemployment, at a larger and more sustainable scale.
Hello, my name is Daryl. Now I'll be sharing with you about the change and also the innovation management processes carried out by Biji-biji. So first of all, we have the strategic framework where Biji-biji will use a theory of change to work backwards from a desired goal. So for example, they will identify the root causes of an environmental issue. Then they will ensure that their actions like upcycling would solve the problem rather than providing a temporary fix. Second of all, we have the collaborative scaling. So Biji-biji actually uses strategic partnerships and collaborate with NGOs and also corporations so that they don't have to build every single project from scratch, and they can also utilize other expertise into existing networks to reach many other people. Thirdly, we have the tech-enabled talent. So Biji-biji actually uses digital progress tracking to see exactly how participants are improving, and they will combine this data with customized mentorship, matching youth with industry experts who have already gone through those same challenges. So Biji-biji also goes through different challenges, and one of those challenges are resource scarcity. So Biji-biji actually is currently scaling from a local trash to treasure workshop to a regional accelerator that requires massive upfront capital. So they tend to rely heavily on they tend to heavily rely on external grants and also corporate funding, and this may create a continuity risk on their projects, because if let's say the funding suddenly stops, then the project may be delayed or may be cancelled. And then secondly, we have talent gaps. So Biji-biji tend to struggle in finding people who are passionate enough and also expert enough in contributing this work. And it is very rare for them to find people who can bridge the gap between grassroots community and high level tech management. And lastly is tech network awareness. So because majority of the social enterprise model is still relatively new in Malaysia, many political figures and also corporate leaders, they find it hard to understand how a company like Biji-biji would work, and this lack of awareness makes it very hard for them to gain high level endorsements that are vital for large scale projects and policies that needs changing. That's it for me. Thank you.
Hi, so I will be presenting about the leadership and the mission section of this. So first is financial impact. Under the leadership of Rashvin Palsing and Juliana Adam, the organization has proved its commercial viability. Raising over 6.7 million ringgit is a significant feat that demonstrates that they have moved beyond the startup phase into a professional and financially stable situation. For the second one is regional expertise, with leaders like Nalindra Pelekai and Fabsha Farazahra. Biji-biji has expanded into Indonesia and beyond. They specialize in high-stakes fields like AI and cybersecurity, ensuring that the youth they train are prepared for the 21st century job market. Last but not least, systematic alignment. Their mission is to democratize technology. By using the impact framework, they ensure that every innovation, whether it's a recycling machine or an AI training module, is designed to have accessible to even the most marginalized communities. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, now I'll be discussing issues and challenges in implementing the change. So one of the biggest issues was resistance to change. Internally, the team had to move away from hands-on making and workshops into roles that involved mentoring, managing programs, and using digital systems. This shift required new skills and a change in mindset. which naturally creates some resistance at the beginning. At the same time, scaling from small local projects to national and regional initiatives placed pressure on resources. So Biji-biji suddenly needs more funding, specialized digital talents, and stronger technological infrastructure, especially to support impact measurement and coordination across programs. Another challenge was the digital divide. So many of the social enterprises and communities involved had limited experience with digital tools, making adoption slower and more complex. So as a result, Biji-biji had to invest additional time in digital literacy/training to ensure the technology could actually support the long-term impact. Coordinating with a wide range of partners, this includes global corporations, government bodies, or local NGOs, became increasingly complex. So differences in organizational structure, reporting standards, and expectations sometimes slowed decision making, and it required careful alignment. Another challenge was managing community expectations. As Biji-biji shifted towards long-term ecosystem building, the impact was not always immediately visible. Unlike traditional charity models, systematic change takes time, which meant communities needed continuous communication and resources. To address both partnership and community challenges, Biji-biji strengthened its governance and communication systems. Clear impact reporting and transparent engagement helped maintaining the trust across stakeholders while allowed the organization to continuously scale sustainability.
My name is Tasha. I'll be presenting on the lesson learned. First is real social impact requires a systemic shift, moving beyond making products to build sustainable ecosystem. Secondly is the human element is important as teams need support when transitioning from hands-on roles to management and digital responsibility. Third is technology-driven scale is essential because digital tools help measure impact, improve coordination, and support expansion. Fourth is trust through data matters as transparent reporting helps build stakeholder confidence. Fifth is expectation management is necessary since systemic change takes time and also results are not immediate. Finally, an adaptive strategy is important as flexibility allows organizations to respond to new challenges such as youth unemployment. That's all.
Our recommendations are divided into two main areas: strategic growth and operational excellence. For strategic growth recommendations, firstly we have advanced analytics. We recommend developing deeper impact measurement tools. This will provide a data-backed proof of social and environment success. With clear results, the company can attract more partners and funding while also improving its long-term value. Secondly, we have revenue diversification. We suggest expanding the eco-friendly consumer market and launching a subscription model for Mi.Reka training content. These initiatives create new income streams beyond current projects. Diversifying revenue reduces financial risk and ensures sustainability, even if one program slows down. Thirdly is community replication. We recommend a train-the-trainer mentorship program because this allows community leaders to replicate the Beyond Bins model independently. Scaling through local leaders increases reach and impact without heavy reliance on central resources. Operational excellence recommendations. In addition to these three, we also suggest first, formalized partnerships with clear KPIs to strengthen collaborations. Second, building a strong talent pipeline with retention and leadership programs. And third, advocacy and storytelling on social media to reduce resistance and build sustainability culture. Together, these recommendations will help Biji-biji Initiative grow sustainably, strengthen operations, and expand its positive impact.
Hi, I'll be presenting about the group reflection and conclusion. First, we realize that true social innovation goes beyond just creating products. It's about building ecosystems that create long-term impact. By applying change management theories, we were able to see how leaders navigate resistance, manage limited resources, and adapt in real-world settings. This project also strengthened our collaborative skills. We learned how to synthesize diverse perspectives, manage time effectively, and communicate complex social issues clearly as a team. In conclusion, Biji-biji stands out as a local champion, showing how a goal-driven social enterprise can support sustainable regional development. Their shift towards impact acceleration and initiatives like Beyond Bins highlights a holistic approach, balancing environmental care, digital inclusion, and youth empowerment.
On behalf of Group 6, we sincerely thank you for your time and attention. We hope our presentation on the Biji-biji Initiative has been insightful. Thank you.